It's 2018 STJFL Youth Age Grand Final Day. 3 down, 1 to go. In the earlier games, in the under 14C Grand Final, it was Glenorchy 14-13-97 defeating Ewanville 5-3-33. It was a close one in the STJFL under 13 Youth Girls Grand Final. But the Kingborough Tigers, 2-2-14, ended up winners over Claremont, 1-2-8. Just a straight kick in that one. And you've just witnessed the under 15 girls grand final, taken out by North Hobart, 8-6-54, 41-point victory over Sandy Bay Blue, 2-1-13. Next for your enjoyment, we see the showdown in the under 17 grand final. Kingborough Tigers take on New Norfolk. Ahead of the STJFL 2018 Under 17 Youth Girl Grand Final between Kingborough Tigers and New Norfolk, we invite you to join the officials and players to be upstanding for the Australian National Anthem. Thank you very much, and enjoy the STJFL Under 17 Youth Girls Grand Final.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. It is Andrew Silverfox Hopwood welcoming you to the big grand final. It is Cripps the Masterbake STJFL Under 17 Grand Final for the ladies. As we can see, a very determined New Norfolk Eagles outfit getting ready for what will be a crackerjack game. It is New Norfolk v Kingborough Tigers in the championship game. A little bit of a surprise in a way, in that Claremont were pretty dominant throughout the year. They played 15-1-11, were equal with Claremont and New Norfolk. Then came down to Kingborough, who had 9 wins and 4 losses. And the Tigers have been the absolute surprise package in this final series. when they defeated Claremont, it threw everything out, and it meant that they had to meet against New Norfolk last week to get to this grand final. So they've been in really cracking form, have the Tigers. So it'll be interesting to see if they can continue on in that vein. Edward Burrows Cheng has really got them firing, and had 3 encounters, and it was New Norfolk in the first, New Norfolk in the second, but more importantly on the 12th of the 8th, the Tigers 3-6-24 defeated New Norfolk 1-3-9. So it is going to be very interesting as the ball is underway. And that was Baldwin at half back, and Baldwin, as she's gone back in to get it again, she's got her hands nice and high. She's tried to handball that one out, and the umpire said, you didn't get it out properly. It's just popped up, and then you've gone the fist, and she has been pinned for a throw. Coming out towards that wing position, going in nice and strong, is Ellie Dial for the Tigers. She is really well tackled by Foley. Goes back in to get that second possession. Very strong tackle, which was a feature in the previous game in the under-15 division. So it is going to be very interesting to see. I would have thought that trend will continue. There is no doubt about it. It's been absolutely fantastic to watch the young ladies develop over the last couple of years since the girls' footy has been introduced. The numbers have really swollen, and they play with such freedom and enthusiasm, and it's just a treat to watch as the ball comes back out towards the wing position. And taking that possession was Hayley Baldwin, who's had her 3rd possession in these early stages. It goes back towards the Tigers. They're just settling nicely. Baldwin again, but here comes New Norfolk. They pick up the ball as they go back inboard. Now they've got a clean possession. Comes out towards Triffett, and there wouldn't be a New Norfolk team without a Triffett. That is a very, very famous and synonymous name with that part of Tasmania. New Norfolk tapping that very well. Consummate defensive work there by Georgie Shaw has seen that one over safely, and it will be a ball in. It is in the early stages of this grand final, under-17 footy. Kingborough in their traditional tiger strip in the black with the yellow sash, and New Norfolk Eagles, of course, in the black, red and white. And it's great to see the community club dishing it up in this major final. Running hard out there is Odwongo. She picks it up. She's an excitement machine as she drills that board towards the goals. Doesn't quite have the accuracy, but they go back in to get it. Goes back in towards Odwongo again, but she is really fighting hard. At the bottom is Burrows. She chips that ball around, and there is the opening score, and it has gone to the Tigers. So good movement there, and I think that's what they'll try and do, is keep the ball moving and get it out towards that wing position. And that's why they've been really good in the final series so far. And then they took Claremont and New Norfolk on in that previous encounter when they won 3-6-24 to New Norfolk 1-3-9. It was their movement that really surprised New Norfolk. And that's what they're going to try and do to upset them again today, as Oates pushes that one in towards that forward line. Running backward is Georgina Ball, and has been a passage play that has been an infringement. And it is going to go to the defender there in Georgina Ball. She's getting instructions. She's gone for that deft touch, gone through the fingers on that particular occasion by Georgina Abel. Stacks on the mill, and the umpire decides he better call for it, as that's a really good passage of play. And if Kingborough can get it out to that open space, as I'm joined by co-commentator Martin Duffy. Duff, that's what's seen them get into this grand final, those sort of exciting passages of play.
Well, it was very exciting going down the other end, wasn't it, Andrew? And if you can just get the break, get those early goals in a grand final, just gets you away and settles the nerves.
Certainly does.
Tackling here today by the girls in the last game, it was ferocious, and already in the early stages of this match, some very, very good tackling. Yeah,
that was Middleton Miller really fighting hard, but for New Norfolk through the agency of Griffiths. It was wonderful play, as that was Lovell trying to get that round. I'll tell you what, I don't think we even need any sheets to look at these names from New Norfolk. You got your Lovells, you got your Triffetts. Aren't these very, very well-known New Norfolk names, Duff?
Yeah, and the whole time we've been filming junior footy in Tasmania in the STJFL. I don't think we've ever had a Norfolk game without a tripper.
I mentioned that before, and I think you're absolutely dead set right. As the ball comes in, there's been a whistle on play, and it's going to go to the Tigers. He's asking the umpire for the girls to just try and spread that out. It was a lovely looking drop punt, but chipping in, taking a very, very nice mark is Madison Shaw.
What's your pick in this match, Hoppy?
I'm just wondering if, as we just watched that one there, as Oates picks it up, and Oates has drilled that one through. That was terrific play there. As we'll have a look at that on the Mood Food replay. It just came out the back, and you could see her here. She kept her eye on the ball, just picked it up swiftly and drilled that one through. I just wonder if the Tigers can keep this relentless optimism, and they've beaten what were the movers and the shakers in Claremont and New Norfolk after the last few weeks. And can they keep that momentum going, Duff? That is the answer. You would think on paper that your head would be ruling in favour of New Norfolk to make that comeback, especially after that hard-fought victory against the Dogs last week.
So you're saying that Kingborough's already played their grand final? Possibly. Let's know. Well, it's only early, 5 minutes in.
Well,
we see it a lot in
They've
football.
got some great belief, haven't they? And once belief comes in, anything can happen. As that ball goes over towards Triffett. She can't get free, but it comes towards Oates, who was our goal scorer earlier on. Over the back of the pack, it came out towards Slater, but it is the Tigers who are under enormous amounts of pressure. We'll see how they go up. That is Odongo. They're taking a very, very nice mark, and she, we know, is an excitement machine. Once she gets to some open space, she really takes the game on. Good tackling there by the Tigers. The umpire deemed that might have been a throw, and it will come back for a free kick. We've got interesting coaches in this one. We've got Edward Burrows-Chung already, of course. He's a 23-year-old, just doing his Bachelor of Law, Duff, and
he's been to the state, hasn't he?
Yep. He's been from doing his degree up there in Queensland, and isn't it fantastic to see young men like that putting back into footy?
Yeah, you see them coming through very young these years. I mean, young Bolton was, of course, coaching Carlton now, doing a wonderful job there. Coached, I think, Clarence when he was about 22 and North Hobart to a premiership. So
yep,
they certainly get them out involved at a very young age these days. And of course, up in Norfolk, we've got young Dean King at the ripe old age of 44.
Yes, we've got it there. Knuckles King. He was a tough player, and he was a no-nonsense sort of player, wasn't he, Duff? He was always a backline sort of fella, and he just ran in straight lines, and that's the sort of thing he brings to these girls.
And to his credit, I think he's been instrumental in getting the girls' footy happening up in the Derwent Valley.
Oh, and more than instrumental, he's been the prime mover up there, Duff. There is no doubt about that. As that ball comes over the back of the pack, and it is the Eagles who pick that one as they drive it forward. They're under a bit of pressure here, are the Tigers, but picking that one up, excuse me, ladies and gentlemen, is in the deep diamond defence, and they're doing a good job down there, Duff, for the defenders under a fair bit of pressure, and that's a wonderful tackle there, as that was O'Grady who did everything in her powers and clutches to bring that evading player to come in, as it is New Norfolk going forward, as it's picked up there by Shaw. Shaw further afield, bouncing ball, and just bursting through is Ellie Dial, and she's really shining, Duff, in the early stages.
Yeah, no, she's up and about. I think both teams are really up and about at the moment, Hoppy. They've all sort of come out and they've got a bit of a spring in their step, which is good to see.
It has been a big day here at North Hobart, Duff. We've had all these grand finals, and I know you love this time of the year. You've been doing this stuff for many a year with Duff TV, and do you ever miss it? I mean, you just must really look forward to this time of the year.
Oh, I love this time of year because it's spring. It's the first day of spring today, or second day, and the birds are out, the sun's out, the grass is green, and grand final time. What else would you want to be doing at this time of year?
Oh, and look at that mark there by Perry King. Of course, she was the winner of the Beakley Award last year. She didn't win it this year, but that was only because she had the arm in plaster, and she is great to see her back now, Duff. She was a great inclusion for the Eagles.
Was she 50-50, or was she, always a chance to play?
Oh, you're never going to keep her out, Duff. She's a very determined young lady.
So we've got a free kick here. Looks like the fullback's kicked out over the line here, Andrew.
So the umpire has pulled that one up. I think just ran over the line. Didn't actually clear the hand. You see, you've got to actually kick that ball up, Duff. It's got to be clearly out of your hands.
Right. Okay.
So the umpire was awake to that one. They're right on the job. Great umpiring. There's been a push, and it's going to go to the Tigers.
I didn't see much in that one, Andrew, but the umpire's always in the right position, and most likely is always right. So
yes.
Let's go on.
Priscilla Odwogo was rewarded by getting in front, and there she is there, fighting hard to go again. Comes back over towards King, and King is certainly one they've got to watch, as New Norfolk are teaming up very, very nicely now as the arch of the back goes towards the goals. And I think she has put that one through, and Brianna Oates, we know, is a goal kicker, Duff, and if they let her off the leash, it is danger side for the Tigers.
Yeah, it's very dangerous signs here. They just can't get the ball out of the back line, and it's what you call forward pressure. Nice handball out. Great shepherd. Gee, the little 1% is there with the telling factors there in that goal. Kicked it over the pack, and that's a nice goal from about 25 metres out there, Andrew.
Yeah, I love the way she reminded me of Gary Ablett, the way she just sort of squared her shoulders up. A beautiful ball drop, and never looked like missing.
Is that junior or senior?
I put that down as junior.
Yeah.
The way he runs and goes about his footy, it was just like Brianna Oates. So it is 10 minutes gone in the first quarter of the under-17 Cripps STJFL Grand Final in the under-17 female division. Ball comes end over end. It was Rainbird who's really battling hard, but the defensive area there was well played by Polly, but it comes down to the front and centre, and Madison Shaw as opportunist goal put that one through, Duff, and it's danger signs in these early stages of the grand final.
It's raining goals here at North Hobart Oval. I'm not sure what the Kingborough Tigers can do. It's a pretty basic game, isn't it? If you can just start to win the ball out of the centre, get it to your rovers, ruck rovers, and get it out and down forward. But at the moment, I don't think it's been down forward once, has it, for the Tigers?
No, it hasn't been inside the 50 just yet. So Coach Burrows Cheng, he'll be a little bit nervous at this stage. So they started really, really well. And last time they restricted the Eagles to 1 goal, 3-9. And already in the first quarter, they've got 3 goals, 1-19, Duff. So they are a prolific scoring team, New Norfolk, once they get off the leash. They've had some fantastic work. Of course, they finished second, only to be pipped with both 11 wins and 2 losses to Claremont. And it was very even all the way through. It was a fantastic season. But it is the Tigers who had a fantastic final series. And we know that they can do it, as King really has got off the leash and looks very dangerous. Picking that ball up now and doing a great job for the Tigers down in deep defence. Nice assistance there, really working hard. It's in the true centre-half forward position for New Norfolk. That was Baldwin, and she got many a possession early in, and she tried to give the old give and go, and that was Ball. Ball now back into the wing position, but playing in front, New Norfolk's taken that mark.
Just looking at the percentage there of New Norfolk, what have we got? 491. That suggests that they score and score heavily, and they've done that in the early stages of this match, Andrew. Here's a go for the Tigers. Yep.
The Tigers have got some great belief, and there are plenty of yellow and black beanies. There is a great colour and good crowds here at the North Hobart Oval, Duff.
Yeah, there's probably about 300 or 500 people in here at the moment. This big match. Here go the Tigers up here.
Yeah, here they go. It was Doyle who picks up. She gets the handball. She was well tackled now, and New Norfolk, they're standing tall in the last line of defence as it's picked out towards that 50 zone. They are really battling hard. That was Hoskinson for New Norfolk as it comes further afield out to Middleton Miller, and she is tackled and been deemed to been dispossessed. So New Norfolk will clear what was a very promising build-up there for the Tigers, Duff.
Yeah, they just let that slip, didn't they? But it was good umpiring too to let the play go on earlier there about 20 seconds ago, Andrew. I think the umpires are on top of this match at the moment, doing a wonderful job. But the Tigers, they just can't seem to get the ball down there and keep it in.
Yeah, they just needed just to steady up. No doubt about that. They're in the game. They've been so good and they've been up. And so it'll be very interesting to see them work their way into it. They've got a couple of really good prime movers. It's a matter of nullifying some of those key players for New Norfolk, and they've got plenty of options as that one comes out towards Hoskinson again, towards that centre half forward. They're inside the 50.
Oh dear.
Here's a bit of a chance, and excellent tackling there by the Tigers, and that was well done by Burrows Cheng, but it was deemed to be a front on tackle there as well. So you can see she was well tackled at the back, but got a front on tackle, and I think that's fair enough. You've got to protect the player going the ball, Duff.
Definitely, just across the chops there, but she's got up, she's okay.
Here is Burrows Cheng again, and we know that she is a very, very good player, as the siren has gone here for quarter time.
The STJFL Under-17 Girls Grand Final, and at the first break, it's New Norfolk by 18 points. New Norfolk 3-1-19 to Kingborough Tigers 1 behind 1 point.
Well, there we are, quarter time
Three
in the
goals
big match here.
from Brianna Oates with 2, and Madison Shaw a single goal.
Quarter time in the big match here between the Tigers and New Norfolk. 3-1-19 to 1 behind. We'll just go to a break. Thanks to our sponsors, Cripps, the Master Baker.
We've journeyed over the seas, expanded city streets, and pioneered new ways of doing things, so we could craft the greatest loaf of bread for all Tasmanians to taste. At the heart of Cripps are baking and community. At Cripps, we hand test our dough every day. Our flour comes from the finest wheat, milled right here in Tasmania. And we employ over 200 Tasmanians to bake bread for 1,000 times that many. For over 140 years, we've been refining our craft. A century of early mornings, exploration and discoveries. With time comes quality. At Cripps, that's what we take pride in. Quality bread, baked for you, right here in Tasmania. We're proud of where we've come from, but we're even more excited about where we're headed. 140 years on, the journey's only just beginning. Cripps, baking for Tasmanians since 1878.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
There's a sound. It's the sound of new beginnings, the heartbeat of change. To some, it's a loud voice. To others, it gently whispers. You'll know that sound when you hear it. Listen. Start your search.
We've journeyed over the seas, expanded city streets, and pioneered new ways of doing things, so we could craft the greatest loaf of bread for all Tasmanians to taste. At the heart of Cripps are baking and community. At Cripps, we hand test our dough every day. Our flour comes from the finest wheat, milled right here in Tasmania. And we employ over 200 Tasmanians to bake bread for 1,000 times that many. For over 140 years, we've been refining our craft. A century of early mornings, exploration and discoveries. With time comes quality. At Cripps, that's what we take pride in. Quality bread, baked for you, right here in Tasmania. We're proud of where we've come from, but we're even more excited about where we're headed. 140 years on, the journey's only just beginning. Cripps, baking for Tasmanians since 1878.
And welcome back, Andrew. Well, it was an entertaining first quarter. Norfolk with those 3 goals. And the Tigers, we think, only took the ball forward maybe once or twice in the whole quarter. And the one time that I saw them take it forward, it came straight back out. So that's something to work on for the Tigers in this second quarter.
Yeah, I went down and had a listen to the coach's stuff, and Burrows Cheng was very positive, though. He said, we've got here, we've defeated them last time we played them, and we got here for a reason, because of the way we tackled and the way we applied the pressure. If we can apply that same pressure that we did a few weeks ago, I've got belief in you, and I think we can come back. So there was a really, really strong message where Coach King from New Norfolk, he was absolutely thrilled with that opening stanza. He said, all our good players, we didn't end up second on percentage in this league, and such a big percentage from all that scores from good performances like that first quarter. So he said, keep doing what you're doing. He was most impressed by that performance, Duff.
Oh, I'm sure he'd be very, very happy and very confident leading into the start of this second quarter here, Andrew, as it's all New Norfolk in the early stages. They've got the ball out of the middle again. And
strong mark, Duff, there, taken by Shaw, who had got a goal in that first quarter, and she looked very dangerous, and I like the way she gets good positions in the ground. She played in front there. She was expecting that kick. She knows the players, and she's gone back, kept her hands low, and had slotted that one through for her second goal. And Madison Shaw, hats off to you as we check our Jackson Motor Company scoreboard there. And it was beautiful play. It is New Norfolk that I make that 4 goals, 125 to the Tigers, 1 goal straight 6. I guess the one thing we can say, Duff, that the Tigers have been accurate.
Been very accurate. Just got to win this centre clearance. Let's see what happens. They've won the tap.
They're a good good team, and especially if they can get their noses in front, Duff, they'll really build on that momentum, the Eagles. But down back is Montana Ward, who streams out looking resplendent in that long sleeve jumper, working their way back into it. Ash Brenner for the Tigers, and it's going to be a free kick here to the Eagles. They're really working hard together. There is no doubt about that. They've got some really good players, and none better than Charlie Lovell, who had an absolute stellar year, Duff. And of course, you and I were at the Robert Beakley Awards the other week, and there she is there, young Charlie Lovell. And she was, of course, crowned the best player in the competition.
And she was very modest, wasn't she, when she got an award? Just a nice little smile. But her mind was fixed on this match. You could tell.
Well, that's what she said.
You're asking the hard questions, what's this mean to you? And she was, yep, this is nice, but it's next week.
Well, she's such a team player. She has New Norfolk in her sights. She wants to do well for the community, because she would hand that back any day of the week if she could get the coveted medal for winning the grand final around her neck.
And of course, it's a bit of a cliche, that, but it's a team sport. You train hard all year with your mates, and you get out there in the cold and you play the game, and you get your wins, then you get to a grand final. Wow. I mean, I never played in one myself. What about yourself, Andrew?
Yeah, no, I was very fortunate enough to play in a couple of those, Duff, as that was good play by Skelly, getting it out to Lovell. Yeah, I've been lucky enough to win a couple as a player and a couple as a coach. So it's something you very much look forward to and you look back on, Duff, especially as a silver-headed gentleman now with fond memories. Absolute fond memories.
A couple as a coach, viewers. Try 4 in the STJFL. Anyway, back to this match. Here goes the Tigers. Bit of a chance here.
Yes, look at this. It's end over and it's going, just touched on the line and kept in play.
Oh.
I think the umpire's deemed that as a throw, has he, Duff? We'll have to have a look at the mood food. Oh, dear, I'm never going to criticise umpire stuff, but I think as she fell over, it just inadvertently came out of her clutches. And
she accidentally dropped the ball. Well, of course, the umpire's closer. He's got a different angle. Maybe she tried to paddle it forward. Anyway,
okay.
Moving right along.
So, the old Tigers go back, Duff. And it is Michaela Rowley has put that one through for a goal. And the big crowd that's made it up through the southern outlet are absolutely thrilled. As you can see here, just fell over and inadvertently, but I suppose correctly, Duff, has thrown that ball out. Dear, oh dear.
What's your verdict?
Oh, that's got to be the segment we'll bring back. We can bring that back for sure.
Nice little goal up over the top there, and they're back in the match now. It's only, what's that, 13 points. It's 2 kicks, Andrew. They're back in the game.
Oh, well, this is exactly, they did this against the other dominant force, which was Claremont, and so they know they can win. They've got belief down there at Tigerland, as that is Ellie Dial.
Look at that, they've got the spring in the step now, Andy.
They certainly have. They're starting to snarl, the Tigers, but there at centre half back, taking a very, very strong mark, is the Eagle defenders, and they're starting to team up nicely. Just spotting up kicks, slowing it down a bit, Duff, to try and repel some of this Tiger run.
Yeah, they're definitely having a bit of a run at it at the moment, the Tigers. Of course, they've only just kicked their 1 goal in this quarter. What's that, 1 apiece, I think. So we're back where we were at quarter time in the game. There
is Lovell. She got that kick out. Not to any great advantage, though. Fighting hard, that was Griffiths for the Eagles. As the Tigers pick it up, held a long time, and trying to spin out of danger there was Middleton Miller, but she is dispossessed, and a free kick will ensue there to the Eagles. Going up further afield, excellent attack on the ball as it spills out towards Abby Burrows-Cheng. She is very fleet of foot. They're really teaming up nicely now, are the Tigers, but intercepting that one beautifully there was Perry King, and that's what you expect from one of the premier players in the under-17 ladies competition. Handball further afield. It's a really lovely tackle there by Triffett, and she is going to be rewarded for her efforts. So now it is Triffett, has gone the short pass. I think the umpire is going to do a 50 metres here. Dear, oh dear, it's I think that was Polly who has come in on the mark, and this is a very, very harsh penalty, as New Norfolk are going to line that one up as Triffett gets the handball back, goes back towards Lovell, because they know Lovell's normally a pretty reliable kick, but has just gone off. That was harsh penalty, Duff.
Oh, I didn't see it, actually. I was looking away, Andrew. Can you take us through? What happened there?
Yeah, I think it was just the Tiger player encroached slightly, and the umpire was very quick. The same umpire that played that throw, Duff. He's very strict to the rules of the game.
Oh, that's the instruction on grand final day, I think, if it's there, you've got to pay it, Andrew.
It certainly is, as fighting hard there was Foley. Gets a nice kick in. Only goes as far as Chatterton there for the Tigers. She gets the handball out as she is tackled. Goes back in to get it in. Great second effort there by the Tigers. That's the sort of thing that lifts the team. It's close to the boundary line. Might try and go for the safety, I think, but can't do so. Getting back in now. It won't go. We know that if she can get out on her own, she can run so swiftly. That was Bester for the Tigers. Hard passage of play here. 8-minute mark, second quarter. It is the under-17 Cripps STJFL Grand Final for the ladies. A big tackle there by Emily Burrows. Doesn't go further afield. O'Grady comes in to try and assist for the Tigers. Spinning out of danger there is Burrows. Nice play by her. Gets it towards the true centre half forward position. Leading out was Wood. She can't go too much with it. Comes back forward to Abel. She gets the handball back to go forward. This is good passage of play, Duff. They're really teaming up, but they really need to get a wriggle on there, as Baldwin has been tremendous for the Tigers, really fighting hard. But how about the tackling pressure here of the Eagles?
Great pressure there by the Eagles. But I'll tell you what, look out for Hayley Baldwin. She's got some great skills. She did some great work there under pressure. But the Eagles are holding strong at the moment, Andrew. Seem to be teaming up a little bit better to me.
So there's King. King, of course, had that...
right in the bonds, I think.
Yeah, that might have been the Falcon.
Yeah,
we don't call it a Falcon in this game, Duff. We call it the Eagle.
That's right.
So at centre half forward, you've got to get your birds right, Duff. And it is the umpire coming in to throw that ball aloft. In what has been just a fantastic day here, Duff, at North Hobart Oval.
Yeah, we've had, the under-14C for the boys. That was a great game. One-sided on the scoreboard, but we really enjoyed it. And then the under-13s girls, 15s and now the 17s. Just been a splendid day of Aussie rules footy. The greatest game in the world.
Well, it certainly is. And that was an arm wrestle, wasn't it, in the under-13 girls, with the Tigers just hanging on to the Dogs, as now picking that one up, trying to break through. Wonderful, wonderful tackle, as you can see here on replay. But I like the idea here of the Tigers running and trying to take the game on. But Sophie Farrow had a bit more to say about that with such a strong tackle. As New Norfolk moving their way forward, it's King yet again going back inboard towards Lovell. There are your two premier players for your Eagles as they go round. That's a great handball, but brilliant tackle there by Kelly, just holding that and that play, Duff.
Yeah, I thought that was going to be a certain goal almost to the Eagles, but Kelly saved the day there. And well, they're only 14 points out here. Let's see if they can sneak a goal just before half-time. Hoppy, really bring this game alive. They're still in this match.
Of course, they are playing the 4 15-minute quarters in the under-17 division. Umpire's whistle has gone, and it is going to be a ball up. Just trying to get a little bit of clarity where he's going to run. Nice work there. Good thumping work by Hoskinson. Comes towards the Tigers. A little bit unsure of what to do, and that being undecisive has proved costly there, Duff. Yeah. And the reward for the tackle there goes to the New Norfolk team.
Yeah, just a lack of awareness there. Oh, great tackle again. Oh, gee, the umpire's hot on it. And,
tackling in this in the girls' footy, Duff, is just something to see, isn't it?
Yeah, it's the real highlight for me. It's taken me by surprise. And, you know, the skills year by year are getting better. So I think the future of ladies' footy is right here. It's here to stay, Andrew. It's just wonderful for footy clubs. And we love it here at Duff TV. And
as we said in the other divisions, these young ladies have got a pathway to play at the top level, and this is the ground where the Tasmanian team will be playing at, as New Norfolk are under a little bit of pressure now as the ball goes in towards the true centre half forward position. It is the Tigers who have the ascendancy at this stage. It is New Norfolk at the moment who hold a very handy lead. It is 4-2-26 to 1-1-7, but the Tigers are hanging on.
Is that the right score, or have we got the score wrong? Have they kicked 2 goals, Kingborough? Kicked 1 in this quarter and 1 in the first quarter?
I think you might be right, Duff. Absolutely.
Yep, I think the scoreboard's wrong there.
My apologies. It was that goal was just kicked a few minutes ago. There's no doubt about that, right from the square, with that umpire paid that one for throwing, which was quite correct.
So they've got a little bit more spring in their step at the moment, the Tigers. Kick the last goal, and if they can just sneak that extra one, go down 8 points at half-time.
Well, they're really holding New Norfolk at this stage, aren't they, Duff?
Yep. No, there's been a small momentum twist in this one.
That ball was touched, I think, and he's been holding the ball. Well, some of the people are saying, oh, that's not fair, but I can hear that downstairs. But the umpire, we don't know, he might have been saying, that's touched, it's play on, ladies, so make sure you get rid of the ball.
Well, she didn't get the ball on boot, and that's why he paid the correct decision there.
Wow, that's a very, very large kick, Duff.
Yeah.
But in going for that additional distance, Rowley has pushed that to the side. She's already got goals already. but missed on that particular occasion, and they inched their way forward.
They are. They're getting back into this game, Andrew. It's good to see, and you can just see the worried look there on the New Norfolk fullback just as she's kicking out. She knows that the Kingborough Tigers are back in this match. 13 points.
They certainly are, Duff, as Griffiths gets the handball. Goes now, getting the ball towards that wing position, picking it up and running hard is Oates. And I tell you what, if you said that there was maybe 400 people here, they're making a lot of noise, aren't they?
Oh.
They are making this ground rock and roll.
It's the amphitheatre of this great suburban footy ground. It's the greatest suburban footy ground in all of the world, Andrew.
It is a crackerjack, isn't it?
We love it.
It is a very, very good, and we're so blessed to be up here in the Peter Sharp Tower with the best view going around as we look out at the River Derwent, and the city is just there in front of us. What a great view we have.
It's a great view. And if people out there are wondering who Peter Sharp was, he was a wonderful commentator for Channel 6 for probably 10, 15 years. Had a great run at it. Still around, Peter. And if he's out there listening, hats off to you, Peter. This is the Peter Sharp Tower that we're bringing this game to you from today.
The old sharp knife, he was always...
Sharpie, they called him.
Yes, very good, wasn't he? As that handball comes out by Hayes, trying to get the ball moving. Excellent work by the Tigers. They've got to hang on now and see if they can keep going on the wing position. As you can see down the interchange area, the changes are afoot.
Looking pretty relaxed, the Tigers. A couple of smiles. They know they're right in this game.
Well, that's the one thing that I've enjoyed so much is the smiles on the girls' faces, isn't it, Duff?
Yeah, that's right.
They just absolutely love it.
When I was out there with the camera in the under-15s, as soon as the siren went, both teams came together, congratulated each other, happy smiles. It's just wonderful. Great attitude by the girls. There's half-time, Andrew.
There is half-time, Duff. And it's been very, very entertaining.
STJFL Youth Age Grand Final.
We just keep going here. Now you've got a few goal kickers there.
And in Norfolk. And at the long break, it's a handy 18-point lead to New Norfolk, 4-26. The Kingborough Tigers 1-8.
Yeah, we believe that score is wrong. We've got it down as 2-1-13.
Time for New Norfolk.
We'll just get that cleared up.
And Madison Shaw. A single goal for the Kingborough Tigers coming from the boot of Michaela Rowley.
Maybe we got it wrong there, Andrew.
Okay, so it is half-time. And as you say, it's been very, very entertaining as we're watching the goal umpires come into the middle of the ground. And of course, if that is correct, they will wave the flags, and this is the most important thing. And this is, you go to umpiring school a long time for this stuff. You got to keep, you got to keep the out in front. Don't keep it low, keep it up high. Watch this.
He's a cool customer too, this young fella on the right, Andrew. I saw him last week at the SFL women's game, and he was in fine form. Now what do you think they're talking about?
Is that umpire?
Here?
I think that's umpire McKenna, isn't it, Duff, and umpire Holland. They're just checking the scores now, getting the arithmetic right. Very important job, isn't it?
Oh yeah, it's very easy to get it wrong, especially if you're being heckled from the people behind you. It'd be very off-putting.
Okay, so here is the moment of truth.
Here we go. Oh dear. Oh, they've got it right up there. So it's 128 to 4226 as we fix our score here at Duff TV. Gee, I'm glad it wasn't in the last quarter.
Oh well. The only thing I think about those umpires, Duff, I'd like to see them bring back the white lab coat and the butcher style hat and thumbs up when you get the goal. I think moreover that's more to the thing. But it is half time here at the North Hobart Oval, so I think it might be our opportunity to take a break. So we hope you're enjoying all the coverage of what is a very, very entertaining game. Have the Tigers got it in to come back, or do you think New Norfolk are going to push on? Well, it's time to put the kettle on, and we'll be back with all the highlights of the second half very, very shortly.
We've journeyed over the seas, expanded city streets, and pioneered new ways of doing things, so we could craft the greatest loaf of bread for all Tasmanians to taste. At the heart of Cripps are baking and community. At Cripps, we hand test our dough every day. Our flour comes from the finest wheat, milled right here in Tasmania. And we employ over 200 Tasmanians to bake bread for 1,000 times that many. For over 140 years, we've been refining our craft. A century of early mornings, exploration and discoveries. With time comes quality. At Cripps, that's what we take pride in. Quality bread, baked for you, right here in Tasmania. We're proud of where we've come from, but we're even more excited about where we're headed. 140 years on, the journey's only just beginning. Cripps, baking for Tasmanians since 1878.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
There's a sound. It's the sound of new beginnings. The heartbeat of change. To some, it's a loud voice. To others, it gently whispers. You'll know that sound when you hear it. Listen. Start your search.
We've journeyed over the seas, expanded city streets, and pioneered new ways of doing things, so we could craft the greatest loaf of bread for all Tasmanians to taste. At the heart of Cripps are baking and community. At Cripps, we hand test our dough every day. Our flour comes from the finest wheat, milled right here in Tasmania. And we employ over 200 Tasmanians to bake bread for 1,000 times that many. For over 140 years, we've been refining our craft. A century of early mornings, exploration and discoveries. With time comes quality. At Cripps, that's what we take pride in. Quality bread, baked for you, right here in Tasmania. We're proud of where we've come from, but we're even more excited about where we're headed. 140 years on, the journey's only just beginning. Cripps, baking for Tasmanians since 1878.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
There's a sound. It's the sound of new beginnings. The heartbeat of change. To some, it's a loud voice. To others, it gently whispers. You'll know that sound when you hear it. Listen. Start your search.
We've journeyed over the seas, expanded city streets, and pioneered new ways of doing things, so we could craft the greatest loaf of bread for all Tasmanians to taste. At the heart of Cripps are baking and community. At Cripps, we hand test our dough every day. Our flour comes from the finest wheat milled right here in Tasmania. And we employ over 200 Tasmanians to bake bread for 1,000 times that many. For over 140 years, we've been refining our craft. A century of early mornings, exploration and discoveries. With time comes quality. At Cripps, that's what we take pride in. Quality bread, baked for you, right here in Tasmania. We're proud of where we've come from, but we're even more excited about where we're headed. 140 years on, the journey's only just beginning. Cripps, baking for Tasmanians since 1878.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
There's a sound. It's the sound of new beginnings, the heartbeat of change. To some, it's a loud voice. To others, it gently whispers. You'll know that sound when you hear it. Listen. Start your search.
We've journeyed over the seas, expanded city streets, and pioneered new ways of doing things, so we could craft the greatest loaf of bread for all Tasmanians to taste. At the heart of Cripps are baking and community. At Cripps, we hand test our dough every day. Our flour comes from the finest wheat milled right here in Tasmania. And we employ over 200 Tasmanians to bake bread for 1,000 times that many. For over 140 years, we've been refining our craft. A century of early mornings, exploration and discoveries. With time comes quality. At Cripps, that's what we take pride in. Quality bread, baked for you, right here in Tasmania. We're proud of where we've come from, but we're even more excited about where we're headed. 140 years on, the journey's only just beginning. Cripps, baking for Tasmanians since 1878.
In today's world of self-service, it's nice to know that there's still a place where you can sit back and relax. Bennett's Driveway Service, now at Snug, Lerner Valley and Sandy Bay. For more than 40 years, Bennett's Petroleum has been there for all Tasmanians.
There's a sound. It's the sound of new beginnings, the heartbeat of change. To some, it's a loud voice. To others, it gently whispers. You'll know that sound when you hear it. Listen. Start your search.
Well, finally, the Kingborough Tigers are out in the ground. I don't know what's happened there, Andrew. That's a couple of games in a row that the Kingborough Tigers have delayed the start of the second half of a game. Something that we can look at, I think.
Oh, tactic stuff.
Oh, tactics. Right.
Coach Eddie
like
Burrows-Ching.
Don't like that. Get him out there.
What his theory is there, Duff, was to try. So New Norfolk would have been fired up and had all their last-minute instructions by Knuckles King, and then they've come out there, and he would have liked that they might have forgotten some of the theories. So he just held them.
They were going cold out there, those New Norfolk girls.
Well, the only thing is they've adapted the conditions a little bit longer, so it might be to their advantage. So Madison Shaw, who's already kicked 2 goals, she kicks that one in, but marking that one is Middleton Miller, who's been very, very solid down back, Duff. Yeah,
nice mark there. We do apologise. We did get the scores wrong at our end in that second quarter, but we've got it right now. It's Kingborough 1-2-8, New Norfolk 4-2-26.
In all your years of footy, that wouldn't have happened too often, though, would it, Duff?
No, it happens every now and then. We're human here at Duff TV. So there's going to be a free kick here to New Norfolk, and this will go down to Brianna Oates. Yeah,
Oates. Now she's a very good goal kicker, and you could see the nostrils flaring as she pinned her ears back and sent that ball catapulting towards the leading Slater, and she took that mark and played on a little bit. Didn't think that she could make the distance, Duff.
Well,
wasn't so sure, was she?
Well, she had a player running past, but you just got to make sure that player is not under pressure, and I think the pressure created the kick to go through for the behind there. But they've come out of the blocks here, New Norfolk, in this third quarter, and they kicked that one out in the full. But as the trend has been in this match so far, looking down at our laptop, they've had the ball in their forward zone 81% of the time, Andrew, in this match.
Yes, no, they've been terrific so far as Polly got the handball out further afield to Baldwin, who's been very, very strong player, and that's a great mark there by Christian. Christian goes the shorter kick, was asked to play on, and they came straight in and went on the tackle there. It was well done as Burrows kicks towards goal. Burrows has Caneno end and luck's a fortune. That one has gone through, and Emily Burrows has just put a great deal of life and belief into these Tigers, Duff.
Oh, that's just about goal of the day for mine, Andrew. Let's just watch this one.
Have a look where she is, Duff. She's just on the 50, picks it up. She had no idea who was in front. She span out of the tackles and then has roosted that one from downtown, and that will be a fantastic fillip for the team.
Well, it was inspirational. It's just what the game needed, what the team needed. They've worked really hard in that second half of the second quarter to this point, and hadn't really reaped the rewards as a big ruck contest there. But it's 27-14. It is back to 13 points as we were calling it in the second quarter. So it really is game on now.
Yes, certainly is game on. And New Norfolk, as you know, Duff, are free-flowing and are used to scoring heavily. And if you can put the clamps on them, they won't like that. And so it's all about defence for the Tigers. And when they get it forward, they really do have to take the advantage of their inside 50s. So now, ball in. Tigers need to be steadfast in their defensive work here. Nice handball.
Oh, Polly, I think that might have been.
Yeah, that was Burrows-Ching, but New Norfolk, they're very canny about the way they set up. But down there in defence, I tell you what, they've got some strong players in their defensive area, Duff.
Yep, and here goes young Polly.
Gee, she was good. She's gone a little bit ambitious, and she was caught. Gee whiz, that was great play by Brianna Oates.
It was, because she was away there, but Burrows-Ching, the the coach of the Tigers. The instruction was at halftime, take the game on. So young Polly did that there, but just got caught.
Yeah, you don't mind as a coach, Duff, if a player gets caught when they're taking the game on like that. That's what you want. That's exactly what you want. So now they're working hard. Excellent play by the Tigers. See, they're very strong down there. Another handball comes out further afield. They've got plenty of numbers there. I like that. A bit of don't argue. That was Middleton Miller. And Middleton Miller has really pushed through.
Just like Robert Harvey. You might just get a replay on that. Just go back there as she brought the ball out here. Just a wonderful play.
Ducked the head, and look at that. Went through 3 players there, Duff. Just really taking the game on.
Just like Robert Harvey in the 90s for St Kilda there, the old champ.
Used to go all right, Duff, as Perry King. She came back in towards goal.
Here we go.
That ball comes out, and she just pushes and bullocks her way forward. Running out now. That's a really nice tackle by Burrows. She's trying to inspire the girls with that lovely big long raking goal. Here she is again as she picks up, and she's just decides to bludgeon that forward. I reckon that's the way to go. Here's a good tackle, Duff. Odwogo has tackled, but it's been deemed in the back.
Oh, probably so. Play on. Oh, it's a tough one for the umpire. He has to make that split-second decision. What would you have paid there, Andrew?
Well, all I know is Priscilla Odwogo, she didn't argue the point, Duff. No. She just got up, got her hands up. I don't have any effect on that or control over, so I'm just going to get on with the game. Oh, there was Burrows. She took them on there. Would have liked to seen her try and handball that one out, Duff. She had players running by, or just move it forward at all costs.
Just needed to get it up over the top there, but it was a good tackle. And free kick.
When the pressure's on, that's what can happen. Decisions and choices, it can go right out the door because you are under enormous pressure. And a lovely tackle by Hayley Baldwin. And she's a very, very good tackler.
Gee, one more goal here. Won't it make it interesting? Just when we thought that Norfolk really did have the upper hand, especially at half-time when they were 3 goals up. It's back to 13 points. I can feel another goal coming.
That was O'Grady who was in the ruck. She was strong there below her knees. But Norfolk have picked that ball up. They're getting it out to some open spaces now as they move that ball forward. Burrows Ching is playing in front. She's been ably assisted there by Van Moorink. And I tell you what, Duff, she's doing a very nice job down on the half-back flank.
And you've done a very good job there of pronouncing her name. I think you've got that right there, Andrew, for young Chelsea. Yeah, no, she's playing a very good game.
Comes out towards that wing there. They're teaming up nicely, aren't they? They're trying to slow it down, where the Tigers are really trying to take it on and run it at all costs.
Yeah, I've been impressed with their skills by Norfolk. They do seem to team up just maybe a little bit better than the Tigers, who are sort of just trying to force the ball forward. But here we go.
So that was Ellie Dial who gets it out. We know this young lady's going to run, Priscilla. Here she goes, Odwongo. She gets that ball as a deep entry into the 50. It comes over the back. Here's a person who loves a goal as Burrows tries to pick it up. She's backing back. Get it out, young lady. Get it out at all costs. She gets it onto her boot. She screws it towards the goals, and she's kicked another one, Duff. What about that? Emily Burrows has kicked that one out of downtown, and that's going to lift the Tigers because it has got the big crowd up out of their chairs.
That is goal of the year almost, Andrew. What's this?
Have a look at this on the Mood Food replay. She's picked it up, backed into trouble. She's got 1, 2, 3 hanging on and somehow gets a kick from almost 30 metres out on one leg and has kicked that through for a goal.
Oh,
I can officially tell you, Duff, we have got a game on our hands.
We've got a game on our hands.
And this is what happened with the Tigers in the last few weeks. This is what they've done. They've built belief against these big powerhouse clubs in New Norfolk and Claremont, and they are really working hard. And I like what they're doing across half-back flank.
Yeah. Well, they've just stopped the scoring, really, of New Norfolk. They've kicked, the last 3 goals of the game, I think. Or 2 at least.
It was seen a little bit too high.
7 points.
So Griffiths will take the free kick. Griffiths, lovely looking kick into position. Odwogo, she has come in now. Gets some help. Lovely hands. They're teaming up nicely, aren't they, across half-back, Duff?
Really starting to get a bit of belief, bit of run. The bounce of the ball is just starting to happen for them, just like that there. They're away here, the Tigers.
So Abel kicks it down. And that's a really good mark A little bit unlucky there. I don't know that she thought that she was paid the mark, Duff, to be quite honest.
Oh, gee, I think she knew what had happened there, Andrew.
Have a look here, O'Grady. She fumbled, and then I did take it. Now she didn't even go back. I don't know that the mark was paid to her.
You might be right.
I'll give her the benefit of the doubt. That's a great tackle there from Van Murick, and she has held that one up as she has done all day.
I would be very nervous now if I was an Eagle playing out there, because there has been a big momentum switch here to Kingborough.
There has, as the Tigers now get the ball back in towards the centre of play. O'Grady tries to pick that one up, take him on again, and she has had 2 tackles beset upon her in a matter of a minute or two, and it has gone up a notch or two after the grand final in the Cripps Under-17 STJFL grand final for the Under-17 ladies division.
I've got to be honest, at half-time I thought this game is going to be how far New Norfolk, but they've come out here, the Tigers. Look at this tackling, and they're under the pump at the moment, the Eagles.
They certainly are, but this young lady here, number 4, Ellie Dial, I am most impressed by her. She can do anything in football. She has been so good, as now it comes back towards O'Grady. Can she get a kick off this time? She does this time, Duff, but couldn't quite get the elevation and chopped off there. Old Burrows, she has stolen that one, and she's been rewarded for the free kick, Duff.
I think that could have been maybe play on, but
well,
great awareness there by the Tigers.
And we know she can roost the ball as it comes out now towards Rowley. She gets the handball further afield. Got a bit of a kick on goal. It's stuttering, going close, and it's at the post. Dear, oh dear, just didn't quite have the confidence to straighten up and go for the goal, Duff. But
dearie me.
Dear, oh dear, this is becoming a very exciting game.
It's a great game here, Hoppy. Look at that on the replay. Just bounced the wrong way.
Game of millimetres, Duff. So now, it is certainly 1 goal the difference. New Norfolk have the ascendancy at this stage, but it is all Tigers as far as momentum is gone. The tackling is probably the thing that's brought them back into this game. As fighting pretty hard, that was young Polly. Back in towards another goal, bursting through, no nonsense style are the Eagles as they go back in towards the centre of the ground. Hayes is there, trying to get the handball out. She does so, but it's been a throw, and well tackled as her arm was pinned there, Duff.
Yeah, no, great tackle, and the umpire right onto it. Yeah, it's definitely lifted a few notches this match. The grand final, the under-17s for 2018. So Norfolk 4-3-27, the Tigers 3-3-21, and we've got about 3 minutes left in the third quarter. How
good is this young lady Dial going, Duff? She is so good at centre half back, and getting it out to her cohort and scorer of 2 goals is Emily Burrows. She goes further afield, and taking a very, very clever mark is Odwogo. Getting it inside the 50, goes over the top towards O'Grady. Can't bring that one in. And so now they're working really, really hard, and it is Hoskinson who picks the ball up for New Norfolk. Hoskinson getting it inside for a rare forward entry. Really nice play by the Tigers as Ball picks it up. As that kick is off the side of the boot, but luck is a fortune as it falls into the hands of Polly. 12.5 minutes gone in the third quarter, and we have got an absolute cracker of a game, as that one has been deemed a bit of a trip. And it's a free kick there going to New Norfolk's Perry King. It was an accident as the Tigers were really running hard to try and enforce that tackle. As New Norfolk take that kick, but backing back, taking a very nice mark is Polly. Polly with a couple of Tigers there, and one leads out is Abel. Abel just looking for another lead further afield. That's a really nice kick. There was deemed a bit of a push there, and that's a free kick going to go to Burrows. We know she's a really long kick, and she has roosted that one deep into the forward line. Back over the top is Rowley, who's already kicked a goal. She just gets a little toe to it. New Norfolk under enormous pressure now. What are the Tigers able to do? It is New Norfolk trying to force that ball out. It comes back out to the Tigers. That's kicked off there and has hit the post. That was O'Grady who had that shot on goal. And this is really, really tense here, ladies and gentlemen. We are at North Hobart Oval, and the Tigers are doing all the attacking at the moment as O'Grady picked that one up, but she was tackled. It is the Tigers, 3-4-22, trailing the new Norfolk Eagles, 4-3-27. That is Polly, goes forward, but just steadying the ship is New Norfolk at centre half back. Nice kick out further afield towards Shaw. But it's Burrows Cheng at centre half back. Another handball further afield to Van Morik. She gets it now back to Doyle. Doyle now, end over end. They need a strong tackle now, but New Norfolk can get their dukes on that one up. They need to hold firm here, do the Tigers. Lovely handball by Van Murik. Here's a chance. Excellent work. Baldwin, long, raking kick. Time for a mark. They need something. Only seconds to go as Burrows comes in, but steadying down is Hoskinson, who has been fantastic in this last minute of play. She steadies back in towards the centre of play. Picking it up now is Middleton Miller. Middleton Miller tries to evade, dodge as she's tackled, and the siren has gone for three-quarter time. And at three-quarter time, it is the Tigers. 3-4-22, trailing New Norfolk, 4-3-27. Ladies and gentlemen, we have certainly got a really good game of football here. Quite an amazing change of fortune as the Tigers had all the momentum now, so it's going to be fascinating to see who can get over the line in this last quarter. So now's the time to have a quick break, because we'll be back with the last quarter very shortly.
Brianna Oates.
We've journeyed over the seas, expanded city streets, and pioneered new ways of doing things, so we could craft the greatest loaf of bread for all Tasmanians to taste. At the heart of Cripps are baking and community. At Cripps, we hand test our dough every day. Our flour comes from the finest wheat, milled right here in Tasmania. And we employ over 200 Tasmanians to bake bread for 1,000 times that many. For over 140 years, we've been refining our craft. A century of early mornings, exploration and discoveries. With time comes quality. At Cripps, that's what we take pride in. Quality bread, baked for you, right here in Tasmania. We're proud of where we've come from, but we're even more excited about where we're headed. 140 years on, the journey's only just beginning. Cripps, baking for Tasmanians since 1878.
So here we are, we've got the really good view down here as we can see Knuckles King imploring on his girls on what he wants in this last quarter. He's just explaining what has been happening. Very deliberate, calm, settling the girls down. I reckon he'd be just sort of suggesting, you know what, we've done this right throughout the year. We had such a huge percentage because of our scoring capabilities. Let's don't go into our shells. Let's take this game on. We were steadfast in that last quarter, so it'll be really interesting to see how that pans out as we'll go across to have a bit of a look at Eddie Burrows Cheng. I reckon there'll be a fair bit of excitement down here in the Tigers because they really came back in that last stanza. Didn't probably get the full reward for it, but here goes Burrows Cheng now. He'll just be telling the girls what he requires from them if they are going to get a very famous victory here at the North Hobart Football Oval. You can see the intense glare when they're looking in the coach. What you want as a coach is a lot of eye contact. Once you get that eye contact, you know the girls are switched on and they're intent on hanging on every word that coach Eddie Burrows Cheng, the 23-year-old lawyer who did his degree up there at Bond University in Queensland, and now he's come back to coach the Kingborough Tigers. He's a wonderful young man and a very experienced young footballer. We've watched him come through the years, and he is imparting all of his knowledge and wisdom to these young ladies here. As you can see now, he's calling them to arms. He's saying, we've been fantastic in the last few weeks. No one believed that we could get to this grand final, let alone win it. And here we are. We're only a kick away from taking home the coveted STJFL trophy. And that's what he'll be imploring on his charges. You can see here, pointing to his head, he's saying, we've got the nous, we've got the smarts, we've got the capability, we've got the ingenuity. All we need now is to put that into play and come over the top of the Eagles. So it's going to be interesting to see who is going to be good enough to bring home the major trophy. This is the last grand final of the day in what has been a fantastic, absolutely fantastic day of STJFL football. There's been a bit of surprise in the last one, and who knows in grand finals? You just never know. Once you're there, you give yourself an absolute wonderful opportunity to win the game. Both of these groups have had really strong years, and they're both also very, very fortunate to have the leadership of Eddie Burrows-Cheng from the Kingborough Tigers, and of course Dean Knuckles King from New Norfolk. And Dean has been so instrumental in junior footy up in the Valley of Love, but moreover than that in the girls football. And we say hats off to you, Dean. No matter what the result, you are doing a fine job with these young ladies. So very, very interesting to see who can come away with it now. So it is the Tigers, a couple of goals there which were absolutely stunning goals to Emily Burrows and one to Michaela Rowley, where for New Norfolk, lightning quick Brianna Oates, who sprinted down there, got a couple, and Madison Shaw and Charlie Lovell and Perry King have also been fantastic in this game. So it comes down to this. The last 15 minutes of football for the STJFL season, as New Norfolk pick that ball up as they try and break free. Can't do so, but interesting to see them taking the game on, and that's exactly what you want as Perry King goes forward. But there at centre half back are the Tigers to try and repel another one of these onslaughts from the Eagles. Going back in to get it again was Perry King. She does so with great effect, getting it over towards the goal scorer there in Shaw. Comes back towards that half-back flank and playing in front with the Tigers, and got the very fortunate kick off the shin. Brilliant pick up below the knees. That's a very hard passage of play to do that one there. It might look easy, but it is very, very challenging to pick that ball up so easily. And New Norfolk, they're steadying now as they go forward and take this mark. Well, there's been an infringement. There has been an infringement over the line. This is, gee whiz, very, very costly. And it now means that the New Norfolk player is going to have a shot within range, as Madison Shaw, who knows where those goals are, and she has put that one through for her third, and that has been the dream start for New Norfolk here in the last quarter, as just encroaching slightly over on the mark, and that has cost those additional metres, as we can see here on replay. New Norfolk going forward, running directly over the mark, and the umpire had no alternative but to play the free kick, and it is New Norfolk 5-3-33 to the Tigers 3-4-22. That's put a little bit more pressure on the Tigers, but we can see from last quarter they are a very, very good team, and they are good enough to hang on, because they have been able to do that in the last few weeks, and so there's nothing stopping that they can't do it in this quarter. They've got the firepower. They need to get that ball moving quickly. Picked up now by Lovell. Lovell gets it down towards that forward 50 arc. Running hard is Brianna Oates. She knows she's very swift on her feet. She gets it, trying to break her way forward. Good tackle there again by Ellie Dial, who's been absolutely fantastic at centre half back. But New Norfolk, they break out of that one as it comes towards the goals. But backing back is the consummate defensive work there by Kelly, and she has tapped that one through for the minor score. So now goes back. We've got a designated kicker. Oh dear, it's almost like a slight brain fade there. It just ran straight over the line. Had forgotten to kick it to herself there, was young Ellie Dial. Was just so keen to get the ball moving and gain that extra metre that inadvertently, you can see here on replay, didn't kick it to herself. She just ran outside the square. And so now it's going to be a ball up 10 metres out from the Norfolk goal, Duff.
She was just so eager to get the ball going, wasn't she, Andrew?
Yeah, absolutely. So here now, kicks towards the goal. That's going to be close. I think that might have gone over for a goal. It has. Dear, oh dear. And the opening couple, Duff, have gone to New Norfolk.
Well, they look so full of optimism at three-quarter time, did the Tigers. That's going to make it very, very difficult. 3 goals exactly now in the early stages of the last quarter. Nice goal out of the pack. Look at that, up over the top.
And that's the sort of thing that you expect from a great player like Perry King. You know, she's a Beakley winner the previous year, and then, as we know, she had that injury with the broken arm, Duff, and she has come back and she is proving so strong in this grand final.
Yeah, no, she stepped up just when they needed her there. Tell you what, it's been a great battle in the ruck. These two, O'Grady up against, who we got in the ruck there for New Norfolk today? We'll get a name on that young girl, but I tell you what, it's been a good battle there, Hoppy.
Oh, it certainly has, as Baldwin picks it up. She gets a kick on, just in time. Back towards centre half forward. New Norfolk have the numbers, and they've really started to steady the ship with those last couple of forays, which resulted in 2 goals as Burrow Cheng's on the bottom of the pack. King is there to assist her. The umpire says it's not going to go out of there here at just all but the 5-minute mark with 10 minutes to play in the grand final of the Cripps STJFL Under-17 Girls Grand Final for 2018.
And it's Zoe Hoskinson, of course, going up in the ruck all day for New Norfolk. It's been a great battle between those two. I reckon they've done enough now, the Eagles. I'm going to call it here, 5 minutes in. But the 18 points, I can't see the Tigers coming back from here.
Oh, Van Murik has been so good across half-back. She gets yet another possession. They've got a lot to like down there at the Tigerland, Duff. They've got some really good girls, and have a look at the determination and fight from them as Baldwin went for the ball, but it was a lovely spoil there by Hoskinson. Now it comes out towards the Tigers. They get another handball, another chain of handballs. Burrows Cheng went fighting hard, but didn't have the ball. Picking that one up and going out a little bit too wide, and it's going to be a free kick going here to O'Grady. O'Grady now just looking for an option. Nice long raking kick. Need a mark here. Held without the ball, and so it's going to be a free kick now to the Tigers. Put around on the angle. Here they go. They need a couple of long raking kicks. It's inside the 50 now. In front. Wogo couldn't quite bring that one in. She held on without the ball, and that's going to be a free kick going down there to Farrow. Farrow goes out wide. Beautiful step. Excellent work there by Lovell. Slipped over when she was about to kick, so didn't quite get good purchase on the ground. Going forward, they need to make something out of nothing here to the Tigers. Excellent tackling there by Emily Burrows. Goes further out towards Burrows Cheng. She straightens up now. Drop punt. Going inside, but backing back, taking a very safe mark is Lucy Watson for the Eagles. Looking very steady are the Eagles, getting themselves into the right positions, teaming up very well. I think they've done enough here, Andrew. We've seen funny things can happen, we know that. But everything is going the Eagles' way at the moment. And I think this is going to be a well-deserved victory here today. Yes, at the moment.
Under-17 grand final.
At the moment, the way the scoring is, Duff, you would like your money. Of course, we don't encourage betting, but if you were having a little dabble, Duff, I think you'd like your hard-earned on the Eagles at this stage.
Definitely.
So here is, for me, one of the best on ground. That's Ellie Dial. She has been so good. Doyle gets it back out towards the centre of the ground.
We've got another umpire out there. That runner out there needs to get off the ground there, Andrew. He's directing traffic to how the umpire should be umpiring. I think we just need to leave it to the men in green. They've done a fabulous job all day.
They've been outstanding. Outstanding. As that ball went up there, but it was taken a little bit too high. So that was Chelsea Van Murick. She's been giving an extra few metres. You don't want to back-chat the umpires, Duff. No tolerance on that.
Was it the protected zone, Andrew?
There's been a couple of protected zone frees here, Duff.
Very short 50s in the girls' footy. That was about 25 metres. Don't quite understand. Is that the rule?
Yeah.
I've seen that more than once today.
Okay, Burrows Cheng. You know,
off.
she's going to take it on, Duff. She's got plenty of pace, and she realises that time is against them and gets it down to the centre half forward, Emily Burrows. Burrows quickly gets it out to Abel. One-handed attempt to mark that ball there was Triffett. Very determined. You can see her holding on for grim life, and the umpires decided to ball it up. Nearly 9 minutes gone. O'Grady been solid in the ruck.
Very solid. Great game by O'Grady.
You can see tackling. You know, if Burrows gets this out, she can snap from anywhere, Duff.
Great.
She's proven that's the case.
Great play by New Norfolk. Just to have a player back there right on the line at the ball up, that was great play.
So now, really sprinting and getting away. That was brilliant play by Dewongo. And a really good mark taken by Rowley. I'm sorry. It's a tough shot from this angle, Duff.
Yeah, it's a tough shot. She knows she needs to get on with it. She's doing the right thing. Coming in, little skip in the kick, and she's hit the post. That's part of her game that could just something she could work on in the off-season, Hoppy. She's got a little skip just as she kicks the ball.
Dear, dear, dear. That one hitting the post.
Yes.
That's been the third poster for the Tigers, Duff. So they've had plenty of opportunities.
And they're fighting this right out here.
Oh, aren't they? They never die attitude down there, as Baldwin is good enough to pick it on. As she goes down towards Rowley, who really leaped up into the sky. She flew high. New Norfolk working hard. Oates has dropped into defensive area. As the Eagles just kick it in, they don't look. Here playing on and having a bit of a pot shot for goal, Duff, was Abel. And she has just missed it, and they have had plenty of opportunities to win this game, Duff, and it's a little bit inaccurate. It is 3-6-24 to 6-4-40.
Look at that. That's 9 scoring shots to 10, yet it is, 16 points.
Here's a chance now, Duff. That might be Baldwin who gets the handball out. Can they redeem themselves? And it's stopped on the line, almost like a goalkeeper in soccer there. Brilliant play by King. I think King's put herself down in defence, Duff.
Yeah, no, that's just experience by young King. She's done that a couple of times now, right on the last line. That's really, really thinking through a football, just making it hard for the Tigers to score. And sure enough, she's stopped another possible goal.
Well, that's what you need to do now, Duff, is more over than that. And there she is. You can see just not letting that ball come out, and the umpire will throw it aloft.
They're fighting this one out, the Kingborough Tigers. Hats off to them. They finished, what was it, third on the ladder? Third or fourth? And made it through to the big one, third. And but they're not going to be good enough here today, though, Andrew.
You can see there, lovely, lovely spoil as the Tigers have another shot. They're unrelenting on their shots, but inaccurate, and the minor score. And they're going to try and do it by points, but there's not enough time for that, Duff.
No, I think time's going to be the enemy here.
They're going in bursts. It was just that steady in the first 5 minutes of the last quarter, wasn't it, where New Norfolk really came out to play and they got those 2 goals.
Yeah, 2 goals in, 2 or 3 minutes.
So now the Tigers fighting really, really hard, pushing on now, working their way forward. That was Matthews working now, picking that ball up. Was Baldwin. Baldwin back in towards the danger area. Bounces away from the Tigers. Going back in to pick that one up was King, who's just been so fantastic in this last quarter.
Who's your BOG? I tell you what, King, for mine, has just about been the best player out there today.
Oh, gone the bounce, Duff, and then being caught was young Polly. Maybe just get that ball into the 50. It's easy to say in hindsight. Ball going now. Excellent work by Doyle at centre half back. She picks that ball up as she's done so often. Long, raking, left footer down towards Burrows. Comes front and centre. New Norfolk get the handball out. They've got the numbers back there. They're defending grimly now. Comes across the back towards Shaw. They've got a few numbers down there, and why wouldn't you? They just need to hold firm, and the cup will go up to the Derwent Valley as that one comes into Baldwin. It just went off her chest. Couldn't quite pull it in. Look at her fighting so hard. She gets the handball out now. Excellent work. Burrows gets the kick towards goal, and she's offline and through for another behind. Well, if we, to be quite blunt, that ball has been down in that forward zone, and in fact the Tigers have had one more scoring opportunity than New Norfolk, but to New Norfolk's credit, they've been accurate, and when it mattered most, they kicked those goals at the start of the last quarter. Burrows Chang, very, very pacey. She picks that one up, and her attempt to get the ball moving so quickly, it has gone off the side of her boot and out of bounds on the full. So it has been King who will take this one, and King has been an absolute dynamo in this last quarter. She's just put herself in the position to mark the ball, and she stood very tall, and it's probably been her that has been the difference in this last quarter, that she has held so many attacks from the Tigers that she has taken another one. That was Skelly taking a nice mark. Skelly looking further afield, trying to find a short pass, end over end. Nice lead by the Eagles. Moving it quickly now. Open space. Excellent play by Doyle at centre half back. Only goes as far as Hoskinson. Hoskinson getting it over to Triffett. And Triffitt's been taken high, and she'll take the free kick. There's Triffett. They're just soaking up the clock now. They know that the trophy's theirs. As it's Madison Shaw, drives it even a little bit further afield, a little bit wider. Well done by the Tigers, their never say die attitude. Excellent work there as it comes out to Van Milwick. Deciding to take the game on, getting out to the running player in Ellie Dial. Back down towards centre half forward, but the siren has gone, and New Norfolk are our victors. Well, there we have the Norfolk girls coming across and thanking their opposition, and you can see the sheer delight. They knew that they had a game on their hands today, as Dean Knuckles King had that smile across his brow, and I think he'd have a sense of relief. He knew that they could be good enough, but they were really, really challenged by the Tigers today. That was a fantastic grand final, no doubt about that. Both clubs can be very proud of their charges as they represented their teams so beautifully in what was a fantastic grand final. For the victors, Brianna Oates was fantastic with a couple of goals, and she got those early in the game. Perry King got a single, but it was her play at fullback was probably the difference that why they got the victory, and Madison Shaw got 3 as well.
2018 premiers, New Norfolk. Final score, New Norfolk 6-4-40, the Kingborough Tigers 3-8-26. A 14-point victory. Grand final goal kickers for New Norfolk, 3 to Madison Shaw, 2 to Brianna Oates, and 1 to Perry King. For Kingborough, 2 goals to Emily Burrows and 1 to Michaela Rowley. On the terrace wing in front of the team boxes, we're about to do the presentations. I'll be presenting the Premiership medals, the Best Player on Ground medal, and of course, the Premiership Cup. And And in control of the microphone and proceedings, STJFL Executive Officer, Tony Gibson.
So there we heard we are going to cross down in just a few minutes to Gibbo to make the presentations. For me, I think, given that came up trumps with the victory, I'll be interested to see the best player, but I think Perry King was very, very influential, especially in that last quarter, saving what was an onslaught from the Tigers. And you can see over there Eddie Burrows-Cheng just saying to his girls how proud I'd imagine he was of their performance. They were in this one up to their back teeth. There is no doubt about that in what was such an even game for them, and they have had such a stellar finals campaign this year. When everyone thought it might have been a Bulldogs New Norfolk grand final, they have come through and beaten both of those teams and done a magnificent job to make it to the grand final. But moreover than that, they have contested it and fought very, very hard indeed. So it's been a wonderful grand final, which was the last one for the day here at North Hobart. We have had a wonderful day of finals football. It's been a carnival atmosphere here with really, really good crowds, fantastic weather, bathed in sunshine here at North Hobart, and we couldn't ask for more. And moreover than that was the quality of football. The quality of football was very high, and that's what it's all about. So just asking everyone to get in readiness for all the announcements as Tony Gibson will give us all the details in the presentation area very, very shortly, as the Tigers are now making their way inside the square. And we hope you've enjoyed the coverage here, ladies and gentlemen, of what has been a fantastic day. And if you've enjoyed today, we hope that you'll also tune in next week as well. We've got plenty more football. It's the SFL finals next Saturday, and then STJFL finals next Sunday here at North Hobart Oval. But of course, if you can't make it in, tune in to Duff TV and we'll bring you every bit of action live and free here on Duff TV. And it's fantastic, and we thank very much the support of all our major sponsors. We've got Jackson Motor Company, Mood Food, and of course Cripps, the Master Baker, the major partner for the STJFL.
Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What a great way to conclude Father's Day with a 3 girls grand finals here today, and the best game was saved to last. Fantastic effort to both teams. Well done to New Norfolk, victors and premiers for 2017.
18.
Commiserations to the Kingborough Tigers girls. What, boy, was that really one great contest. I'd now like to ask the coach of Kingborough Tigers, Eddie, to come forward to say a few words.
I'd just like to start by thanking the STJFL and all the officials today for making today possible. Without you guys putting in all the hard work throughout the season, you know, we don't get to games like this and give the girls the opportunity to play in a game like today. So thank you very much. Thank you to the umpires, not just the ones today, but all throughout the season, who have given so much, dedicate their time. Congratulations, New Norfolk. You've been a hard opponent all season, and we've loved playing you. So thank you very much, and well done today. You thoroughly deserve it. You're probably the best team all year. You went 12 games, I think, undefeated. So all the credit to you, and really well done. Massive thank you to my support staff, the Kelly family and Patrick, Sam and Melissa, who come in, week out, doing the medical staff, water and runner for me. Without you guys, today wouldn't be possible. To Brendan, as our team manager, he calls me twice a week and gives me so much support, so he knows how much I value everything that he does for me. To Libby and to Harry Burrows, who have given me a lot of support through my coaching role, but most importantly to the girls. I think from what I did earlier today, you all know how much I appreciate every single one of you and everything that you've given me this season. I love turning up on a Tuesday, Thursday and rocking up on a Sunday to be able to coach you girls, and I you know, I said that we had to trust our processes, and if it was meant to be, it would be today. And we gave it a fair shake. So you have to hold your heads high, like I said, and be proud of what we've achieved to even get to today. Stick with your footy, because all of you in this team have so much talent, so much potential that, I mean, most of you probably can't even see. So really well done, and I look forward to being a part of whatever comes in the future for all of you girls in a coaching capacity. So thanks very much, everyone. Cheers.
Thanks, Ed. I'd also like to make acknowledgement, have the opportunity here to congratulate our Sports Trainer of the Year, which is Melissa Kelly from the Kingborough Tigers Football Club. It's the unsung heroes behind the scenes of the teams, all the volunteers that really assist in getting the teams on the ground each week, so thank you. I'd now like to invite Dean King to come forward and say a couple of words.
First of all, I'd just like to say congratulations, girls. There's a reason why you girls have played in the grand finals for the last for the last 3 years, is because, you know, you're a very talented bunch of girls. Stick with it. I think out of today's, you know, yes, our girls, we have won today, but overall, you know, the winner, I believe, is, you know, girls footy. So credit to you girls. You know, stick together, you know, this next season, and there's big things and a lot of talent for you girls coming through. To our girls, okay, this is a journey that started 2 years ago for myself and a lot of you girls, bar 2 girls I think it was. Started in November, you kept on nagging at me, wanting to start early. We done it, and the credit paid off to you as well. To the STJFL, to Tony and the guys, okay, the way you run the competition, fantastic job. You've got to thank all the sponsors. Cripps Bakery, you've got to give them a plug with their raisin toast. I think it's pretty good. But other than that, well done to everybody that played today. So congratulations, girls.
We'll ask the New Norfolk coach to present the Best on Ground medal, which goes to New Norfolk player number 35, Perry King.
First of all, I'd like to thank my girls for everything throughout the season. I'd like to thank all of our supporters who stuck by us in 2 years. And I'd also like to thank Dad, because if it wasn't for him, we wouldn't be here today. And thank you, Kingborough. You guys have been very hard to play against, and yeah, I don't know what else to say.
We'll now invite Dean, as coach in New Norfolk, to call out his girls to come and receive their premiership medallions.
Right on, yeah, okay, I've been told right on the way. First of all, start off with, where do I start here? Okay, we're going to go to Gil, fantastic job in the back line all year. Okay, Montana Award. Don't throw the ball. Yeah. Next girl, okay, Kimmy Slater. Next girl, Georgie Shaw. Okay, next girl, Jazz Bartels. Okay, next girl, Lucy Watson. Okay, next, Danica Triffett. Who got next? Caitlin Rainbird. Next, Meg Walker. Next, Sin. Next, Jazz Skelly. Next, Kiralee Garwood. Next, Hayley Chester. Kayla Rainbird. Deanne Triffett. Gemma Foley. Sophie Farrow. Steph Griffiths. Maddie Shaw. Brianna Oates. Vice captain, okay, and also we'll add Beakley medal winner, okay, Charlie Lovell. And lucky to last, okay, leaves captain to last, so goes to Perry King.
Not quite the last, the coach, Dean King. And to present the Premiership Cup, our President Jim Horn to the Captain Perry King and the Coach Dean King.
Well, there it is. You can see the utter joy that's coming and exuding there from the faces of the victors, Junior Norfolk Football Club, as they all come in, and they'll be thrilled, and it'll be a happy time up in the Derwent Valley. There's no doubt about that. So, ladies and gentlemen, there is the last of our grand finals on what has been an action-packed Father's Day for 2018. The last victors, New Norfolk, 6-4-40 to a very, very gallant Kingborough, 3-8-26. We hope that you've enjoyed the coverage here from Duff TV. We've had a ball bringing it to you. And as I said before, we'll be back with all the grand finals next Sunday. So tune in for those. And we bid you a very warm evening, and don't forget to spoil your dear old dad over dinner tonight. So that's it from Andrew Silver Fox Hopwood in the Peter Sharp Tower. Good afternoon to you all.
Once again, congratulations to the Cripps STJFL Under-17 Premiers, Norfolk.